For generations, South Boston Speedway has stood as one of the crown jewels of Virginia's short track racing, a place where grassroots passion and NASCAR history run side by side. Known proudly as America's home track, Sobo first opened in 1957 as a dusty quarter-mile dirt oval, quickly becoming a proving ground for stock car racing legends, while even hosting NASCAR's top series in its earliest days. Paved in 1962 and gradually expanded over the decades, South Boston evolved into today's fiercely competitive 0.4 asphalt oval, featuring 12-degree banking in the turns and 10-degree banking on the straights, and a wide racing surface that keeps the action intense and side by side. Through the years, South Boston has remained a launching pad for racing's biggest stars. Richard Petty, David Pearson, Darrell Waltrip, Dale Earnhardt, Bobby Allison, Cal Yarborough, and Benny Parsons all left their mark here, while modern late model stock competition continues to showcase the next generation of short track talent. Under the ownership of the Mattioli family, Sobo remains one of the premier NASCAR Advance Auto Parts weekly series facilities in the nation, hosting marquee events like the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200, the prestigious South Boston 400, and a full slate of championship caliber racing that keeps this historic venue thriving. From its legendary past to its continued place at the forefront of grassroots racing, South Boston Speedway remains a true staple of American motorsports. Tonight, it's the FourWide Motorsports 213simware.com 80, and it's next on Track Limits Network. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the virtual South Boston Speedway. I'm Steve Singer with Track Limits Network here for the FourWide Motorsports Late Model Stock Tour. The 213swimwear.com 80 coming up next. Let's take a look at the race details tonight. Actually going to be two B mains this evening. Had a pretty good turnout of race cars here tonight. Wayne letting us know what the situation is. So two B mains, 33 drivers this evening. Still going to have heats, the consi, all the good stuff. Full fuel, one set of tires. Let's take a minute here and... Okay, we're having a little sequence issue, but here it is, your race logo tonight, 213swimwear.com 80 at South Boston, presented by FourWide Motorsports. Let's take a moment to thank some of the sponsors that help get things done. First and foremost, 213swimwear.com.
Where virtual racing meets real-world style. Gear up with 213 Simwear's sim racing apparel, perfect for representing your favorite league, team, or driver. Contact them at 213simwear@gmail.com for inquiries. 213 Simwear is the official apparel company for the FourWide Motorsports League. Angry Chef Designs is a premier iRacing paint shop owned and operated by Hunter Carlson, specializing in high-quality custom racing liveries. As the proud sponsor of the FourWide Motorsports Racing League, Angry Chef Designs brings creativity, precision, and passion to every design. From bold, aggressive styles to clean, professional schemes, each paint is crafted to help drivers stand out on track. With a commitment to detail and customer satisfaction, Angry Chef Designs delivers top-tier visuals that match the competitive spirit of sim racing. Eastern Technical Design, Inc. provides design and drafting services for commercial, industrial, and residential construction. Services include architectural renderings, preliminary plan design, as well as final construction drawings. Construction drawings include all necessary structural, building, plumbing, mechanical, and electrical plans as required to produce a finished building and/or structure. This company is owned by Tracy Brown, the producer of our FWM network. If you're in the eastern region of North Carolina, look ETD up for any of your drafting needs. Golden Chef Speed Shop is your go-to iRacing setup shop for fast, affordable performance. Owned and operated by Chris Golden and Hunter Carlson, we're focused on giving every driver a competitive edge without breaking the bank. For just $5 per setup, we deliver reliable, race-ready setups built for consistency, speed, and confidence on track. Whether you're racing for fun or chasing wins, Golden Chef Speed Shop provides quality tuning at the lowest price around. Fast, affordable, competitive. Golden Chef Speed Shop, performance you can trust.
Just about halfway through the qualifying session thus far. Top time is the 01 of Dakota Walls. On the Speedway at the moment, Colton Alderman. Alderman finishes up his attempt. 15.255 puts him 8th quick. Scott Shive now on the Speedway. Fifth quick on his first lap, 15.229, and he's around off turn number 2. Locks her down, keeps it off the wall, but that'll do it for the 87. Yogi Schlier now on the Speedway. Trying to beat a 15.15. Fast time for the 01 at Dakota Walls. About a minute and a half left in the session, and we'll get into our heats. .26 quick for Yogi. 15.4. 15.440. Little improvement, but still 25th for Yogi. That should do it for everybody in the session that wanted to take a time, as qualifying will come to a close here in just about a minute or so. We're going to take a very short break and get a commercial in, pay a little bit of bills, but we'll be back after this.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at South Boston Speedway, 5 minutes have elapsed in the qualifying session, so it's all said and done. Dakota Wells, the top time, a 15.15 for the 01, puts him on pole position, or at least for now, at least sets the field for the heats. Let's take a look at our starting grid for heat number 1. Dakota Walls, 15.150. Outside front row will be Austin Pack, missed it by 65 thousandths, more than half a tenth there for the 81. Quick time for Walls. Row 2, it's Frank Wade and Ty Skies. Row 3, it'll be Troy Campbell, Dan Jones. Row 4, Wayne Cannon and Wes Wiegand. Row 5, Yogi Schlier and Chris Norris. And shotgun to be the 00 of Mike Wild. Should be a 10-lap heat, I believe. Indeed it is. Field down the backstretch here, a couple more corners. We'll be green flag racing the next time by. And we'll get our program underway.
Green flag.
Green flag is in the air. Barney with it in hand. He weighs it. We're underway from Sobo. Wells and Pack side by side, at least into turn 1, but Walls fires like a cannon down the straightaway into 3 and 4 with a massive lead of almost a half second over Austin Pack. Already back to the line. He'll lead the first lap. Pack unchallenged in the second spot, then Ty Sykes in third, closely contested by Daniel Jones in the number 17. Everybody minding their P's and Q's so far here at Sobo. Even got the blimp up tonight. Jones hanging on to the 4th spot. Picked up 2 positions on the initial start. Frank Wade, though, slipped from 3rd to 5th. Wes Wiegand's up 2. Campbell down 2. Cannon down 1. Yogi, Norris, and Wild sitting tight 9th, 10th, and 11th. Dakota Walls on fire here in that plain white 0-1. This heat starting off very different from some of the heats we've seen in the recent past races. They've been really energetic, but this one, everybody's being patient. And in a 10-lap heat, that's a sign of things to come here. This feature may be a really good race to keep an eye on here coming up later on tonight. Oh, a little bit of contact there. The 72 of Troy Campbell getting to the bumper of Wes Wiegand. Campbell thinks he's got the faster car. Wiegand able to stretch it out now. Car length, the advantage over the 72. This is the battle for the 6th position. Meanwhile, Chris Norris in pit lane already here. Something amiss on the 56 machine. He'll take it to pit lane. White flag is in the air, though. Final lap for Dakota Walls. And he'll lead it. Green to checkered as long as he can negotiate 3 and 4 cleanly. There he is. Off turn number 4. Checkered flag. It's Austin Pack in 2nd, Ty Sykes 3rd. Dan Jones, Frank Wade, Wes Wiegand, Troy Campbell, Wayne Cannon, Yogi Schleer, Mike Wild, Chris Norris, the finishing order. As you see, Norris ended up finishing this one in pit lane. Getting them done in a hurry. The weather has changed. It went from dark to daylight. I don't know if it's by design, but I kind of like it. Changing conditions for all the drivers here tonight. Keeps you guessing. So we'll take a look here at our starting grid for heat number 2. It'll be the Golden Chef Speed Shop, number 32 of Hunter Carlson on the front row with Scott Shive to the outside. Row 2, it's Hayden Bloomer, Ben Campbell. Row 3, Antonio Mancini and Colton Briner. Row 4, Chris Bingley and Charles Oberg. Row 5, Ron Walters and Elijah Grant. Everybody gridded up here at South Boston, already rolling away from the grid. Another heat for 10 laps. Carlson in the pink and black attack, the number 32. And the 87 of Scott Shive, his familiar white and red number 87, the V-Speed colors. Half a lap from green. Pace car lights are off. Carlson and Shive will lead them to the starter stand. Into turn number 4, getting ready to go racing here in heat number 2.
Green flag.
Side by side for the top spot. Shive and Carlson. Shive with a run on a high side down the back. He'll have the advantage into 3, but not quite clear of Carlson. Row 2 looks about the same. So does row 3. Back to the stripe. Shive will lead the first lap, but still unable to clear Hunter Carlson. Same action there in the second row between Hayden Bloomer and Ben Campbell. Bloomer gets clear of Campbell, goes to the low side of the track, but the top two still contested. Shive has the car, and he's loose off turn number 2, straightens it out, but gives up the spot. Now, taking advantage, Hayden Bloomer looking to the bottom side of the racetrack for the second position. Out of turn number 4, Bloomer's got it for now. Shive trying to regroup. Back to third, now has to worry about the 27 of Ben Campbell. Antonio Mancini in the 5th spot in the number 24. Back to the stripe. 6 laps to go. Carlson comfortable now. Nobody to his outside. Can run the lane he wants, top to bottom. Bottom to top on exit. Number 32 Cadillac will cross the stripe. 5 to go from South Boston in heat number 2. Shive having his hands full now. He was doing well battling with Carlson. He's got a fast race car, but I think he wants the bottom of the racetrack, and he just cannot find a place to get down. Shedding positions here in this second heat with 4 laps left. Mancini giving him all he can handle right now. Still door to door into turn number 3. Ron Walters loose off of 4. Smacks the wall just a touch, but hangs on to it. Mancini gets clear of Shive, so Shive goes from the outside pole back to 5th. All a matter of trying to get down. Still out front, 6/10 the gap back to Bloomer from Hunter Carlson. Coming to the white flag, final lap in heat 2. Carlson, 1 more to go. Carlson into 3 and 4 for the final time. His stopped car in the bottom of the racetrack. That's Elijah Grant. As Carlson will win this heat. Hayden Bloomer 2nd, Ben Campbell 3rd, Antonio Mancini 4th. Scott Shive comes home in the 5th spot. Tough heat race for Shive. Colton Briner, Charles Oberg, Ron Walters, Elijah Grant, Chris Bingley, the balance of the field. So we'll get a look at the starting grid here for our 3rd heat. Colin Swanson and Landon Brown up front. Row number 2 will be Colton Alderman and Robert Eversole. Row 3, Stephen Luttrell, Gavin Grubbs. Row 4, David Warmuth, Dan Worthington. Row 5, it's Thomas Hall and Brad Young. 10 more drivers for our 3rd heat of the night. It's a 213simware.com 80 at South Boston. Running the heat races. 2 B mains here tonight, so stay tuned for that. These heat races are always fun, and it just gets better and better as you go on into the program. Taking a look at the schedule. South Boston tonight. Good old North Wilkesboro next week. I am really looking forward to that one. You all should be too. Make sure you're here at Track Limits Network to catch all the action live. Field in the middle of 3 and 4 as they come to green. 10 more laps. Heat number 3. Swanson and Brown going to duke it out at the front of the field. There it is. Barney waving the green. We're underway. Swanson and Brown side by side. Exiting turn number 2. Still, they battle down into 3. The 9 of Colton Alderman by himself unchallenged for now, but Eversole with the 1 trying to work his way to the outside. Real loose on exit. Tucks in front of Steve Luttrell, but the battle for the top spot still hot and heavy here. Into turn 3, and there's some contact. Shoots the 5 of Brown up the racetrack. Swanson will take over. Coming back to the line, though. Brown will lead the lap. Gets right back after it. Almost went around. Got lucky to save the race car. Not worried about that. He wants to win this heat. Landon Brown takes it back, puts his Camaro at the point in front of Colin Swanson. Middle of 3 and 4 on corner exit, and the caution is out. Dan Worthington facing the wrong way. Looks like Gavin Grubb's getting tied up in that as well. We'll take a quick peek at what just unfolded here. Kind of tough to tell from this perspective. We'll try to get a different look at it. We'll back it up a little further. Go real time to save some time. Worthington on the bottom. Oh, 26. Grubbs just got loose, and then it finishes the job. And it looks like, I think it was the 89. Brad Young getting caught up in that as well. Uh-oh, I made it angry. There we go. Field getting set for a restart here momentarily. Pace car lights still on for Landon Brown and Colin Swanson. Here we go. Brown to the inside. Colin Swanson up top. Brown gets the good jump. Taking full advantage, Colton Alderman jumps to the inside for the second position. Field off turn number 2 down the backstretch. Landon Brown well in charge. Alderman, though, trying to close the gap here. Coming to the white flag. Final lap of the heat. Brown a half a lap away. A car length advantage back to Alderman. And out of turn number 4, checkered flag waves. Brown will win it. Colton Alderman second, Colin Swanson third. See if I can actually get those results to populate. Been troublesome as of late. And that's a negative, sir. So it's time for the consolation race. Only 6 cars in this one. We'll take a look here at our starting grid. And we won't even do that either. Just kidding. Give it a minute here as Nightfall is back at the racetrack. Ron Walters needing to get gridded up. We're going to keep trying this grid thing until it decides to cooperate. It'll be a 15-lap consi. In various order, it looks like it'll be Troy Campbell, Thomas Hall, row 1, Ron Walters, Yogi Schlier in row 2, Dan Worthington and Chris Bingley in row 3. Walters, though, still yet to take the starting grid. Paging Dr. Walters. There he is. And there you have it. Just got to have everybody gridded up in order for that to function properly. Row 1, Troy Campbell, Thomas Hall. Old guys rule in Flex Motorsports up top. Middle row, Ron Walters and Yogi Schlier, Misfit Motorsports. Dan Worthington, Flex Motorsports 08, and Chris Bingley rounding out the third row. Again, only 6 cars in this consi. Coming up are the B mains. The winner from each will advance on to the feature. Troy Campbell in the black and green, number 72, the 93 at Thomas Hall to his outside. There, row 2, the 99 of Ron Walters, the 12 of Yogi Schlier, the 08 of Dan Worthington, and the 84 of Chris Bingley as we're set to go racing.
Green flag, green flag.
Campbell gets away clean. The battle for second. Walters and Hall side by side. Walters on the bottom in the Pepsi number 99. Thomas Hall working his way. I thought they were going to be 3 wide for a minute, but Hall, a little too much on the gas. Correction, that was Dan Worthington in the 08. Now drifts up the track, loses the 99, and he gets clipped. Big time wreck into turn number 3. Both cars upside down, or at least partially. And we're under caution very quickly here in the Consi. Half of our field getting caught out in this one. Yogi Schlier heavily damaged. The number 12 will have to come to pit road here. Mechanical black flag, and that one is not going to go fast like that. Yogi with the Jack Daniels Tennessee honey colors on board. The only good part about this is he'll get to indulge in that Jack honey just a little bit earlier than everybody else. Fast repair burned here. I didn't believe we had those available, but I could be getting things mixed up with some other leagues. Some do, some don't. In the details, I don't even see one. Oh, it says unlimited fast repairs. I wonder if that's a mistake. That makes for a long night in some cases. Pace car is in. Campbell fires right off. Worthington there now in the second spot. Behind him, Ron Walters. So all these drivers able to get back into the action. Battle here now, the 93. Contact with Chris Bingley. Top two get away, Campbell and Worthington. Seven laps to go here from South Boston. Campbell, Worthington 1 and 2, running away from the rest of these guys. Walters in P3. Hall about a car length off the back bumper as the 99 scrapes the right rear on the fence. Damage still showing on the 99. Oh, Yogi Schlier in the inside wall in turns 1 and 2. Real loose on exit. Locks up the brakes, keeps it from coming around, but he'll slide to the last place position. P6 with 6 now, 5 to go. Thomas Hall working to the outside as the 99 of Walters is in the wall. Car was already damaged, trying to hang on to it. Campbell, a masterful job so far, holding off the charge from Dan Worthington. Walters goes to pit lane. Two more laps for Troy Campbell. last lap. Campbell's led it wire to wire, even with an early caution. Was able to stay out of that one. Half a lap to go. And there it is. Checkered flag waves. Troy Campbell, your winner of our Consi. Dan Worthington, Thomas Hall, Chris Bingley, Yogi Schleer, Ron Walters. Your results. So Campbell will move on to the feature. Next one, we've got a 7-car lineup, so let's take a look at them. And once again, we can. Got to get everybody gridded up before I can do that. Now, I don't know if Wayne Cannon is actually racing or... Oh, he is. Okay, so he's gridded up. I think we can run our grid now. There we have it. Row 1, Charles Oberg, Wayne Cannon on the front row. Row 2 would be Brad Young and Elijah Grant. Row 3, Mike Wild, Gavin Grubbs. And in the 7th spot, the 4th row, all buys lonesome. It's the 56 of Chris Norris. Winner of this heat will advance on to our feature event, 80 laps here at South Boston. Tonight's broadcast multi-streaming to the FourWide Motorsports page and, of course, here at the home base of Track Limits Network. We appreciate the patronage at either location. Maybe jump over to one for the first half, jump over to the other for the next. Give us a like, a follow, a share, subscribe. You know how it works. Help us all out. It's good for everybody. Field really slow behind the pace car here. Oberg walking everybody back. It'll come to pit lane. They'll fire off a little earlier in the corner once the pace car leaves the racing surface. There it is. Green flag is in the air. We're racing again here in our B main. Oh, the leader hit the wall. We got trouble.
Caution. Caution. Give me your temps there, bud.
The 26 of Gavin Grubbs around completion of lap 1. I don't know if it was him that caught the wall or somebody else bounced off of it and knocked it into him. We'll take a look. Yeah, it looks like the 35, Elijah Grant, in the high lane. He'll exit a little further than planned. Or he just got a little loose. Yeah, he got a little bit loose. I think he saw Cannon get in the wall, maybe turned it harder left than he had planned, but he comes down and collects the 26 of Gavin Grubbs. Ooh. Chris Norris. Pretty big hit there at the end of that as well. That's going to affect his outcome tonight for certain. So working caution number 1 here in our second main of the night. Winner will advance on to the feature. Right now, the top 2, Charles Oberg, Wayne Cannon. We're about to go back racing yet again. One more lap to green. Or maybe another lap to green. So Norris has been marked a lap down. Grubbs, unfortunately, is now out of this race. So it really shrinks us down here to a 5-car shootout. Now, Norris can technically get a lap back here if we go back racing. And then catch another caution before it's all said and done. I got a 15-lap B main. So that's why he's still out on the racetrack. There is still time for Norris to get back in this. Pace car departs.
Green flag.
Green back in the air. Oberg fires off. Cannon, quick reaction. And now he's got to worry about Brad Young to the inside. Young in the green and black number 89 has the advantage. The nose out in front of Cannon down into turn number 3. Cannon hangs with him. Here comes the 35 of Elijah Grant now to the inside. We saw this earlier with Shive. Cannon hung out on the outside. Can't keep it fast enough to maintain position. Now he's got a battle with Grant. Grant uses him up off turn number 2. They scrape it up a little bit. Oberg coming to 7 to go. Everybody single file now. Laps winding down here at Sobo in our second B main. Real loose. Cannon swings it wide off turn number 2, gathers it back up. Cannon still third. But you got to win this one to move on. Oh, Cannon loose off of turn number 2 again. Hangs on to it. Loses the spot. 29 now falling back. Mike Wild trying to take advantage as he smells blood in the water. Now Elijah Grant, the same problem, around he goes. Collects the 0-0 of Mike Wild. Big time hit by the 56 of Norris. He gets hit again. And we're under caution again here late. Oh, and he gets hit a second time backing up the track. Oh boy. Yeah, you see the 35 of Grant. He's already loose mid-corner. He's got it pretty well saved, but he's broke a lot of that momentum. Swaps ends a little bit, but now Cannon's right up the back bumper here. Will get his right rear as he's getting loose again and just finishes it off. Mike Wild will get into this. He just gets clipped, and around he'll go. And then Norris will come in and just door him hard here. Sends him up airborne. And then Mike backs it up into traffic as Grant's coming down. Looks like this is going to set us up for a green-white checkered attempt, or will it? No, I think we're done. So Charles Oberg, Brad Young, Wayne Cannon, the top 3. Oberg will move on. Elijah Grant, Chris Norris, Mike Wild, and Grubbs. Rest of your results. So now it's time for the feature. 80 laps here at South Boston. The 213simware.com, 80 at South Boston, presented by FourWide Motorsports. Let's take a look at the starting grid. Row number 1, the 01 of Dakota Walls, fastest in qualifying, won his heat, flanked by the 32 of Hunter Carlson. Row 2, it'll be Landon Brown and Austin Pack. Row 3, Hayden Bloomer and Colton Alderman. Row number 4, Ty Sykes and Benjamin Campbell. Row 5, Colin? I keep saying Colin. Colin Swanson and Dan Jones. I'll be okay. Starting 11th, Antonio Mancini and Stephen Luttrell will roll off from the 12th spot. 13th starter is Frank Wade. Scott Shive, watch the 87. He'll be quick tonight. He'll be 14th, though. He's got work to do. Robert Eversole, another quick guy out there, but he'll be back in the 15th spot. Flex Motorsports, Wes Wiegand will be 16th. Colton Briner, 17th. David Warmuth, 18th. 19th starter is Troy Campbell, 20th. And shotgun on the field, the 77 of Charles Oberg. Oberg will have work to do this evening. Half a lap away from green is the Iracing pace car. Lights have been extinguished. Dakota Walls, Hunter Carlson on the front row. Landon Brown, Austin Pack in the second row. Some fast drivers out front as the pace car heads to pit lane, and we are racing in the feature here at Sobo. Walls will lead lap number 1. Landon Brown in P2. Hunter Carlson third, but contended spot. The 81, Austin Pack with Hayden Bloomer to the inside. Bloomer in the 10, followed by Ty Sykes, and we got trouble. Turn number 3, and Shive involved in it. He's trying to get righted. Little bit of damage to the 87. Take a look. I'll back this up a little further here. More to the story. It starts off at turn number 2. Watch the 28 to the inside, and I think that's the 22. Colin Swanson. Why do I keep doing that? And everybody gets checked up, and it's chain reaction after that. Dan Jones gets turned around. Eversole's in it. Shive gets run into the back by the 1. Colton Briner is going to get caught up, and Campbell on the bottom there thought he was going to squeak by. It was not meant to be. So, set for the restart. Early caution here in the feature. Walls, Brown, Pack, Carlson. That's your top 4. Carlson will restart to the inside, but out front, Dakota Walls, Landon Brown. Pace car is in.
Green flag.
Top 2 get away clean from Austin Pack and Hunter Carlson. Couple of car lengths the advantage back to P3. And Robert Eversole is around. Still no caution. He's going to back it into pit lane. Will he try to avoid that? Leaders still go by. Eversole just going to wait there. He'll go down a lap. Dump the clutch and go, Robert. If he's not careful, he'll lose 2 laps. There's the leaders. Eversole on the bottom now. Oh, he's got some damage. Eversole's in trouble. Leaders trying to get clear. Eversole back in the fence. He's got to take it to pit road. Yeah, right front's tore up really bad on the 1. Field streaming by. Now he's got to find a hole to get down. Ball's still the leader. Campbell looks to have similar damage, but the wheels are straight. The 14 almost runs Robert over. Close call for Colton Briner. And that's going to be all she wrote for Eversole. Tough night ending early for Robert Eversole. So Dakota Walls continues to log laps here as the race leader from pole position. Landon Brown right there, though, waiting for the slightest of mistakes. Want to make note here, a couple of stream chatters on the track limit side. We had 2 Extreme 372 saying, would have been fun to race this one. Not sure the story behind it, but I'm sure that he'd love to have you. And as always, Tommy Janikowski with the hand waving the checkered flag. Wonder if Tommy's the only one that's been part of tonight's Track Limits doubleheader and the Zero X Strategy Series prior to this. And here we're live, the FourWide Motorsports Late Model Stock Tour. Top 5 single file, relatively calm and patient right now. That will change at some point or another. Landon Brown still stalking the 01 of Dakota Walls, waiting for the slightest mistake. Austin Pack there as well. Troy Campbell facing the wrong way. We made a caution here. Leader's about to come by. He just hammers reverse and lets him go by, hopefully avoiding getting run over. Caution does not come out. Oh, now he's jammed up in the wall. We might still get a yellow. No, he's going to tow to pit lane. Leader's back around. Lap 20 now on the board. I got to hand it to Campbell there for hammering that car into reverse to make sure he didn't tie up the race leaders. He tried to get it righted and back around, but the car just would not turn and wisely opted to tow to pit lane for the same reason. Just didn't want to ruin somebody's race. It's a tough end of the night for Campbell, but a warrior move. I don't know. Landon Brown's got pace right now. I think he's got something. He's a half-tenth faster than Walls that last time by. Let's go on board. Does it get much better than that? I love it. Walls continues to lead now. 3/10 the advantage over Landon Brown. Brown's got to look in the rearview mirror as Austin Pack creeping up from behind. Brown still matching lap time with Walls, but Austin Pack doing the same. In fact, he was the quickest of the 3. Hunter Carlson now in the mix. Colton Alderman in the top 5. Brown is going to have his hands full in no time flat. Question is, does the 81 of Pack use the bumper to route Brown up the racetrack? Because you really want that car on the bottom of the racetrack. Pack sets the car in yaw. You see the right rear just hanging out in the wind a little bit, using some of that side force. Oh, little slip there for Brown. Pack can't take advantage. Just inches apart on corner exit. Pack knows he's got something for the 5. Brown the slowest of the top 3 the last time by. I think he's holding Pack up. I think Austin's got the faster car right now. He'll use the bumper just a touch. Routes the 5 up the track. That was the, hey, I'm here. The next one is I'm coming through. And the last one is going to be you're backwards. But it doesn't work. Pack loose on the bottom of the racetrack on the exit of turn number 4. Brown able to maintain the second spot. Meanwhile, Carlson now trying to mount his own charge, half a car length off the back bumper of Pack into turns 3 and 4. Top 5 remains unchanged. Walls, Brown, Pack, Carlson, and Colton Alderman in 5th. 15 cars still on the lead lap. Dan Jones, the first car lap down. If we catch a caution, he would be granted a lap back. Gotta wonder if Pack overheated the tires trying to get around Landon Brown, because Landon now is coming into a new rhythm. Car length and a half back to the 81, but still cannot run down Dakota Walls. Walls last lap at 15.77. Brown was an 88. Pack was a 78, so he's still a tick faster regardless of whatever issue he had. Battle for position here. Hayden Bloomer in the 7th spot in the number 10, trying to hold off Frank Wade. Wade takes a look to the bottom on exit, but all the way down on the flat of the racetrack out of 2. I don't know what Walls is doing here. Every time I look at the lap time here. Actually, no, let's go back and talk about it later. Frank Wade has gone around. We saw him in a battle trying to get around Bloomer, and he is now facing the wrong way at start-finish. Leaders get through, still no caution. But going back to Dakota Walls, every time I check the lap times here, he has not been the faster guy in the top 3, but somehow he continues to extend his race lead. So either I'm not looking at the right time or somebody's got a broken stopwatch. There's the lap times there the last couple times around. We're past halfway already here in Sobo. Any better this time? Brown is quicker now, almost a half a tenth, but still back by almost a full second. At this place, that is an eternity. Austin Pack now in a battle with Colton Alderman. Pack has fallen off the pace a bit. Carlson took advantage and picked up 3rd. Now Pack and Alderman side by side. Alderman in the number 9 on the bottom of the racetrack. Pack in the 81 with the jump man on the hood. Oh, and Alderman real loose. Almost lost it. Checks it up enough to keep her going down the racetrack, and now Pack loses connection for a moment. Alderman back on the charge. 30 laps to go here from Zobo. We've been green for quite some time now. Further down the field, Charles Oberg back in the 13th position in the number 77 in tow. The 17th of Dan Jones there, but that's a lap car. For position, it would be Wes Wiegand. Big wiggle out of the 28 machine. That's actually the 22. Sorry, that's Colin. I did it again. Colin Swanson. Maybe it's a sign, folks. Call your doctor. Get your colon cancer screening. It's really important. I think if you're 50 and older, you got to get it done. It's the only way I can rationalize why I'm saying it. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe that's actually how you say his name. Maybe I'm saying it right. Meanwhile, out front with 25 to go, Dakota Walls checking out 1.5, almost 1.6, back to Landon Brown. Really thought Landon would have had something for him, but unfortunately the pace of that race car just falling off. He's still pretty close in the lap time department, though. At least the last time it was a 93. Now he runs a 98 compared to Dakota's 1590. What an impressive run here tonight for all these drivers, though. Tough little racetrack, 0.4 of a mile. A very long run of green flag action. Wiegand now has run down Colin Swanson. David Wormuth trying to make short work of the 14 of Colton Briner. Briner not on the lead lap. Wormuth, the last car in the lead lap, and to make contact. Will shoot the 8 down the racetrack. That's not going to end well for somebody. Briner up the track. Both drivers real loose on exit. Now Colton up the racetrack. I don't know if he was just following the back bumper of David there, but either way, almost completely missed the corner and put it in the fence. Now he's up in the marbles there. 18 laps to go here from Sobo. Dakota Walls continues to lead. So he puts Wormuth now a lap down. Walls the lead, 2.25 seconds back to Landon Brown. This field has been separated considerably now. Long stretch of green flag run. Dakota Walls will come back to the line here. There's the leader. There's Landon. Scott Shive now still in the top 10. Trying to make short work of Ben Campbell. Gets clear. Puts him to the 9th spot with Steve Luttrell in 8th. Wes Wiegand still not able to do anything with Colin Swanson. Swanson in the number 22, just ahead. So now Swanson making his way around the 42. Frank Wade. It's not a position for Swanson. Wade back in the 15th spot. Swanson shown in 11th. Dakota Walls is just running away. 3.5 seconds now, the race lead. Nobody looked out the back door for the 01, but now we'll see how Dakota works his way around this lap traffic with 10 laps to go. First on the list will be Charles Oberg. Walls now. Car length. Almost contact with Wes Wiegand there, the 22. Wiegand fighting real hard to try and get clear of Swanson there. Leader's coming up as he gets clear now of the 77. Dakota Walls got to pay attention to what's out in front of him here. There's a battle for position ahead of him. I know he's the fast car. We're running out of laps, and these guys are trying to get every spot they can. Swanson still trying to get clear of Frank Wade as well. Wade in the black number 42, the top lane, or middle lane for that matter. Off corner exit. Colin Swanson now looks to the inside, has a fender alongside. On exit, almost contact, and big time checkup for the 22 to avoid contact. I tell you, Dakota Walls has really got to be careful here. Give these guys plenty of room because something's about to go down in front of them. Three laps to go. There's the 01 now, right in the thick of this hornet's nest. In contact, Wes Wiegand gets into the 22. Up the racetrack. Oh my goodness, how did they hang on to it? Walls has got to get out of this mess. 2 laps to go. Walls now looking to get clear of the 88. Coming to the white flag. Final lap here from South Boston. Slow car down low. It's the number 78 machine. Ty Sykes. Oh, and he gets into the race leader and turns Dakota Walls in the middle of 3 and 4. Coming to the finish. Now he's in reverse. Trying to back his way to the finish line. Pack goes by, and Austin Pack will take the race win. Unbelievable. Ty Sykes appeared to have been leaving pit lane, or he crashed, one or the other, and he makes contact with the leader in the final 2 corners, taking that victory away from the 01. He'll still get credit for the 3rd position, but Austin Pack will pick up the race win in thrilling fashion. He led 1 lap. That's it. Dakota Walls was trying to get back to the finish line in reverse, but to no avail. He's got to be unhappy about that. Wow. Let's go back and take a look what happened here to Ty Sykes. This is on the last lap. I think he's taking the white right here. Gets into the back of the 10. And then just gets himself crossed up, slides the car, and instead of just going down to the bottom, slowly rejoining, he goes straight back up the racetrack. Now you'll see the leader here, the 01, coming into the frame. He's still loose. I don't know what to say about that. Dakota Walls led every single lap of this race except for the last 2 turns. Not even. Even I think he was still the leader off turn number 4. Wow. All right. Well, we're going to jump out here, get a quick break. We're going to try and get our top 3 finishers up in the booth here, and I'm sure Dakota Walls will not be thrilled with that one, but stay with us. We'll be back after this.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs.
53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook. Back at South Boston Speedway, and I'm still speechless here, even going back and watching what happened on that final lap. Austin Pack picks up the win, and congratulations to him. An awesome run for him. He had a solid car, started fourth, finishes this one off with the win. But I don't think he had anything for Dakota Walls or maybe even Landon Brown. Landon Brown fell off after a while, but either way, he picks up the victory. He put himself in position. He crosses the line first, and he takes the win with the problems there with Dakota Walls and Ty Sykes. But, wow, lost for words. I'm going to pull Austin back up here. We'll get a word with our race winner. It's a win either way. Austin, it's Steve with Track Limits Network. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Austin, congratulations, man. I don't know what to say about that finish, but you hang in there. You run every single lap. This is the epitome of don't take the hats to victory lane until the checkered flag waves, or sometimes until after you've crossed the line with the checkered flag waving. You pick up the victory here. I think it's the only lap you led here tonight, but you put yourself in position, and you're the winner here tonight at Sobo. Walk us through the night and what was going through your mind in those final two corners.
Yeah, start from the beginning, man. We had a fast car, and then there when we were the top three, we were right there together. I got underneath Landon, and it spun the right rear, and it just got hot, and it went away from there. So I had to do something, and finally the high line come in, and then I was just able to set sail, keep a good pace, walked Hunter back down, caught up to Landon, got around him once he got loose, and then just the horseshoe fell my way.
Well, you're a contender here most every feature event we've had so far, at least from my experience broadcasting this league. You pick up the win here tonight. Going to carry that momentum now into North Wilkesboro Speedway. Not a bull ring by any stretch of the imagination. How do you change your approach in how you drive at a place like North Wilkesboro in these late model stocks?
I don't really change much. I just go in. You got to be smooth and consistent, and that's what I've built it on. If you ask most of these guys in here, they'll say I'm one of the most consistent that runs, every week. But it's really nice to have that win, and then took the drop week because we went on the cruise, and then come back to win again. So a lot of momentum, still carrying it forward.
Point standings got to be looking pretty good here for the 81 as we roll to North Wilkesboro Speedway next week. Austin, congratulations, man. A solid win here at South Boston Speedway. Who do you have to thank?
I just thank the Jordan Brand Pennzoil car for bringing another fast race car to the racetrack. Thank Wayne and Hunter and everybody that puts this on. Everybody in the broadcast booth, of course, because I know it takes a lot of time and effort to do this. And my wife and my daughter for allowing me the time to do this in the evenings.
All right, Austin. Well, congratulations again, man. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
Austin Pack, race winner here at Sobo. Next, we'll talk to the 5 of Landon Brown. Started third, finished second. That's a good thing. Positive note on the night, as long as you finish higher than you start, I think that's nothing to be disappointed about. Pull Landon Brown up into the booth and get a word with our runner-up. Landon, it's Steve with Track Limits Network. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Landon, congratulations, man. P2 finish here tonight. Started third. You looked real fast in the heats. Quick even tonight. Thought you had something there for Dakota Walls at the end. Ultimately, finish ahead of him after a crazy last lap. But walk us through that final lap when you saw the 01 machine running backwards down the front stretch.
Man, it was funny coming out of 4. I always joke about, Austin Pack is, the lucky guy, right? He gets some good breaks in this series. And when I came out of 4, I was pretty sure it was the 01 that I saw backwards, but I had to double take. And so I pulled up my relative, and I saw Austin got moved to the 1 spot. And I was just laughing. I was like, there's no way this guy, after the jokes I make about him getting all the lucky breaks, this happened. So it was really funny. I'm glad I got second. Unfortunately, it was sort of given to me rather than earned, but, I'll take it.
Well, I'll disagree a little bit. Yeah, you got lucky at the end, but you put yourself in position for things to unfold ahead of you. You still take that second place finish. In my book, that's earning it. So, looking forward to North Wilkesboro Speedway next week. As I asked Austin Pack, a big difference from the bull ring here at Sobo to go to North Wilkesboro. How do you change the mindset, the approach, the driving style as you go into Wilkesboro?
Yeah, North Wilkesboro is a really unique track. Gotta have a unique driving style for it, and it's funny because leading up to this race, I was talking to Hunter and everybody else, and I was telling them, South Boston's like my kryptonite. This is one of my worst tracks, and I was 3rd or 4th in practice, won the heat race starting on the outside, and finished 2nd in the feature. So, maybe the tracks that I'm not so good at are starting to be some good tracks, and North Wilkesboro is also one that I trend to not be the best at. So I'm just going to hope that I can keep the momentum up from tonight and take it into North Wilkesboro, and hopefully something crazy happens there too.
Well, in the last 6 years of me doing these broadcasts here at Iracing, I can't tell you how many times I've called a race win for a guy that's at a racetrack that he absolutely hates. It happens more than you realize. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because the pressure is off. But either way, it does happen quite a bit. Wish you the best of luck there next week, man. Congratulations, P2 here tonight. Who do you have to thank?
Yeah, thank you. I just got to thank Eastern Technical Design and Tracy Brown. He supports me more than anybody, man. He does so much for me. FourWide Motorsports and Wayne Cannon and Hunter, all those guys, they put in a lot of work for this thing to run like it does. Austin Pack, Dakota Walls, all the guys up there that were racing me clean. We're racing hard, racing clean. Nothing crazy like last week at Lanier, so I was happy to see that. Just got to thank Leadfoot TV, you at Track Limit Network, all the people that put on productions and whatnot for FourWide. I love going back and rewatching them. So, guys put on good production. I really enjoy it. And just looking forward to North Wilkesboro next week.
All right, Landon. Thanks for talking to us. Congrats again, man. Good luck at Wilkesboro.
Thank you.
Landon Brown, 2nd place here at Sobo. Now this is the part that probably everybody wants to hear about. Or maybe not. I don't know. But there you see it. He started first, led almost every single lap tonight, except for the last 100 feet. We're going to pull Dakota Walls up into the broadcast booth if we can, and he is gone. Oh, no. All the anticipation and excitement for this moment, and Dakota Walls is gone. He was there. Now he's not. Well, man, I'd love to hear it, but unfortunately we're not going to. Again, Dakota Walls, lights out fast here tonight. He'll end up finishing this one P3. Nothing to be too disappointed about if you look at the grand scheme of things. A solid points night, if you will. But he had this thing locked up. He was fast, really fast, all night long. Nobody could touch him. He ends up finishing P3 after getting turned by Ty Sykes on the final couple corners. As Sykes spun the car, tried to get back on the racetrack, was way down low to the inside lane. Walls thought he had him clear, turned down. Again, I don't think it was intentional by Sykes by any stretch of the imagination, but Walls has got to be frustrated with that. Either way, he'll take the 3rd place, and he'll take it over to North Wilkesboro. If he's still going to run next week, which I hope he does, really excited to see how he turns around that place. If he can pick up maybe that win that got away here this evening. So that'll do it for us here. We're going to take a look at our race results. Broadcast-wise, as far as the interview portion is concerned, we're all said and done. But the race results of our feature, here you have it. Austin Pack picks up the win. Lucks into another one, according to Landon Brown. I don't think so. As I said, you put yourself in position. You're in a position to pick up a win when chaos ensues. Landon Brown comes home P2. Dakota Walls P3. Colton Alderman brings it home in the 4th position. Hunter Carlson was P5. Steve Luttrell 6th. Hayden Bloomer was P7. Scott Shive was 8th. Ben Campbell 9th. Wes Wiegand 10th. Ty Sykes was 11th. Colin Swanson was 12th. Charles Oberg 13th. David Warmuth was 14th. Dan Jones 15th. 16th place, Frank Wade. 17th, Antonio Mancini. 18th, Colton Briner. 19th, Troy Campbell. And shotgun last, Robert Eversole. Not where we expect to see the number 1 machine finishing out. It's usually pretty quick out there and a contender, but started deep in the field, and he'll end up finishing deep in the field. Wishing him better luck next week at North Wilkesboro. That'll do it for us here at Track Limits Network. Thank you guys all for tuning in. This was a fun one. I really enjoyed it. I hope you all did too. Not a whole lot of chatters, at least on the Track Limits side, but as I said, we dual stream, and sometimes that happens. You split the viewership between the two platforms. Help us out with that. Jump over to FourWide Motorsports, and then jump over here, and then jump back if you want. I don't care how you do it. As long as you're at both platforms at some point in the night, that's always a positive. We certainly do appreciate that. Stay tuned. We got more coming this week. Tomorrow night, IROC Challenge Series back in action. And then Wednesday, we get another 0X Strategy Series race at Texas Motor Speedway. So stay tuned. We got plenty of action. And I think we're going to try and get some of the Golden Racing League stuff done this Thursday. We're way behind on that. Of course, my vacation kind of screwed that all up, and tape delays and all, and last-minute things. And I just hope Chris Golden's doing okay with the whole program. We really want to get that taken care of for him. If it's not last week's race, it'll be this Thursday's race delay. I know we've had some problems with the replays, but stay tuned. We got lots going on here. We're busy here at Track Limits. Lots going on. Be here for it. We certainly appreciate it. It doesn't have to be your home league. Just come out and entertain yourselves. Watch it. That'll do it for us. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.